Hello, guys. It's Marcus, or 5Axel, as you know me. Alright, so this video is meant to introduce you to the new server and all the stuff that is being added. Um, you remember all the Cobblemon stuff we had? It's a lot of the same stuff with a bunch more stuff added. So it's going to be mostly the same journeys you had before. You don't have to take part in all the crazy new stuff. You can do little bits as you want. But with that in mind, there are some changes to some of the basic stuff. Um, so again, same journey with a lot of extra stuff with a few changes to the early game, how things work. And so I wanted to make this video to kind of introduce you guys because it is very easy to get overwhelmed with this stuff. There's a lot more stuff in this pack. Um, so this video will help you help explain the stuff to you with visual, representation. So it's not just like, me telling you or trying to find the information on your own. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. The biggest thing, like I said, all the Cobblemon and stuff are still there. A lot of those core systems are the same. Um, with this new mod pack, though, there are 3 keys that you're going to want to remap if you want. Um, we used to press C to get into our Pokemon party where you can change the moves and, stuff like that. That by default is going to be the M key, which we used to have as the map key. The map is now J. So if you want to keep using those, or use the new keys, great. If you don't, before we get started, I'll show you how to change them. So there's 3 keys that we're going to want to take a look at. So you'll go into your options, go to controls, and you can do this from your start screen, and then keybinds. Now, you can do all the stuff there. Since there are a lot of different mods, a lot of these keys will have double uses and stuff. So if you're getting into a mod and you need to find a key, you can come in here, change it to what you want. But we'll start small. The first one that we really need to look at, of course, is the key that you want to use for your Pokemon team. By default, it's M. I changed it back to C because that was what I was used to. So you're going to look for, it's called Open Summary. So like by default, it's M. And I don't know why it's not just called Cobblemon Team or whatever. But let's, map it. You'll click it, click the button you want it to be, and then you're done. Now the next key is the map button. It's going to be called show hide. I'm sorry, not mini map. Show/hide full screen map. So by default, it's J because J for journey map. That's the mod that does the map. We're going to assign it. Again, click it, press the key that you want it to be, and you're done. So that's C for your team, M for the map. If you want to leave them like they are default, great. If you want to change them to a completely new key that you want to use, even better. Now the third one, by default, is not bound to anything. So we do want to bind it to a key. And that is your open quests. Now quests are going to be kind of important to it. By default, it's not set to anything. Quests are going to be kind of important. I mean, you can technically just forget about them, but the quests are really great on guiding you. Um, you can set it to anything you want. I like to have it in the N key because it's right next to my map. So you can put it as the J key for like your journal, whatever. I would not suggest using the Q key because that's right by your movement keys, and so it's going to make it annoying. You're going to constantly be pressing it by accident. Um, the yeah, just those 3. Okay. So then you can done, boom. Okay, so let me give you a rundown for the quests. So you're going to press your whatever button you set as the Q key or your quest key. You're going to see this screen. This is a great intro. All these little nodes are little quest things, but this is just the starter screen. So if you see a little red with an exclamation point, that means that there's a reward ready. But we'll start with these 5. So we'll start welcome to Allthemons. It'll give you a little intro on what it is. If you see a green check mark under tasks, that means you've done the task. And then the red under the rewards means that you can claim it. So then you just have to click it. Boom, I got 10 XP. Great. We'll do the next one. Useful commands. Now, this page, I would say keep coming back to this. You'll come back to this a lot. It gives you 3 very important, these are chat commands. The set home or slash home. We'll go over that a little bit, but it's really important. This is going to be something you're going to be using a lot of. The next one is slash spawn. So that one's an easy one. We're at the spawn. We're just going to click or type in slash spawn. Boom. It takes us back to spawn. So on our server, we're going to have a little like welcome area. No big deal. The next one is RTP. This one is awesome, and I love that it's in this pack. It is a random teleport. Now that sounds kind of scary, and it could be, but so say you're out somewhere and you've walked everywhere that's close to your base, but you want to go to somewhere completely new. You can type in RTP, and it'll teleport us somewhere random in the map. So if you're looking for a new place to get resources or a new place to get Pokemon, this is great. Boom. It put us. Wow, what a crazy random teleport. I found a pyramid. Um, I've actually never been in this. Looks like the door is over there. We're not gonna go crazy with this because, we're making a video. Wow, this is cool. And those are scary monsters. There are new like enemies. Diamond and Netherite is no longer the furthest you can get. And look how many hearts he's got. He's got a lot. No, we're not going to attack me. Anyways, okay, so RTP shows you, takes you somewhere different. Now you're wondering, okay, we're, looking at it, we're 13,000x. We're really far away from home. How do you get back? That's easy. The 4th one that is not shown here is slash back. Now this will take you to the last place you teleported from. And boom, we're back at spawn. Now you could technically do slash back again. Oh, it's got a cooldown. But if I hit slash back again, it'll take me back to the desert. So it's a great way to go from your home to the teleport back and back. Now it also works after you die. So say you go die in the nether somewhere and you want to get back to where you were, just type in slash back. Super helpful. Okay, so those are the 4 commands. Now this one's just a read quest, so you can click the task so that you've read them, and then claim your reward. This one's not very important. This is for making teams. It's not really going to be important for us because we have a small server. But if you were on a server with Allthemons and there's like hundreds of people and you want to make a team with a few people, you can make a team. I don't think it protects your base, so make sure you trust them. This is just, okay, quests. That's what we're going over now. No big deal. And then claiming chunks, we'll go over that later. So that's that first intro page is done. Now, once these go away, chapter, that's saying that we completed this chapter. Now you'll see this button up here with the little red. This is your rewards. Now be very careful in here. Don't use the claim rewards unless you're very, very ready for it. That's because once you claim all, it'll give you everything at once. Now there's items and experience and stuff. So if you don't have room in your inventory, it'll drop on the ground. So be ready for it. I would say go into it individually so that you can put them in a chest or whatever like that. Um, Also, this is just for claiming rewards. You can't see what the quests are, what you need to do, stuff like that. So, don't worry about the screen too much. But what we will do is over here on the left, mouse over to the left, and you'll see the strop bar. These are all quest chapters. Um, there's a lot that may not be super important to you. There's a lot for different mods. There's a few that are really important. I would say start from the top. You could do, if you want to build, it'll give you build quests and stuff. Now you'll see that it's got the lines. I would say the first one, start with something like this. This is like Minecraft typical, get some logs, craft a crafting table, make wood tools. It'll take you all the way up to like beating the Ender Dragon, the Wither, the Warden, stuff like that. So if you want a Minecraft quest line, cool. This is great. And it has a few of the different, energy, electricity, stuff like that, making steel, stuff like that. This is a good modded Minecraft quest. So that's the new beginning. The one I would say, Cobblemon, getting started. This is a great for your Cobblemon. And he really wants to give me a hug. First one, select your Pokemon. All right, we can do that one. So we're going to hit C. We're going to select our, I'm just going to go with this guy for some reason. All right, I've selected my Pokemon. So now you can see that this one is completed. I'll claim it. Now you can't jump ahead in quests. Like I can't do this quest because I haven't done this quest. So follow the lines. So you'll see a couple of these. This next one, this one's good. Once you see you selected a Pokemon, you'll see you got this Pokepedia. Now this item is great. It's kind of like a mini quest book. It'll give you your Cobblemon information, battling wild Pokemon, battling other players. Um, a lot of this stuff you probably remember from the other server, so it's not super important. But it's a nice little handy, chapter book on doing different stuff, different Cobblemon items. Now this isn't a Pokédex, so keep that in mind. So keep this in your back pocket or put it in a chest at your house. You can always go back and look at it. We got that. We'll claim it. Now, you'll see my Pokemon's level, 10. Now, let's see. We'll do rare candy. Okay. We'll level him up, say we battled and stuff like that. Now, you'll see that he can't go over level 15. That's okay. We'll kind of go over this quest guide will kind of put you onto how to raise your level cap. It does the gym thing, but not the same. We're not going to be looking for gyms like we did. Instead, it'll give us a line of like different trainers to fight. So now you'll see this one. This is saying battle other Pokemon. The reward is a trainer card. So that's great. You can technically craft a trainer card. It takes redstone or whatever, but the quest book gives you it for free. I don't think you can. I mean, you'd have to make the name tag. Anyways, the quest will give it to you for free. But to do it, we have to battle up other Pokemon. So let's find something that's here. Let's battle this guy. As you can see, the battle screen is mostly the same. There's a few changes. Ooh, Terra Shard. Okay, so let's do that again so we can kind of look at the battle screen just to kind of, here we go. So same thing again. These screens look a little bit different. It'll show you your stat debuffs, stat buffs, level. We can see that my Cyndaquil's speed is 26. Now the opponent, its speed could be anywhere from 7 to 12. So you can kind of gauge if it's going to be faster or slower. You can also see which weaknesses. So you can see that he is weak to fighting. Mine is weak to water, ground, and rock. So super awesome. It also keeps track of what moves they use. So awesome. See his level and stuff like that. So cool. As you can see, also remember my Cyndaquil didn't go over level 15. Don't worry. We're gonna take a look at that in a little bit. Now, you may wonder, Pokeballs. You want to start catching Pokemon. Now, you may also notice that Pokeballs don't have the same recipes. We can't just craft them with apricorns anymore. We have to do them different ways. There are a couple different ways to get Pokeballs. The first one, we can still use apricorns, we just have to use a little bit more. The first easy starter way to get Pokeballs, start collecting some red apricorns. You're going to find a village or a trader or whatever. Poke Centers are the best, so let's go over to the Pokemon Center. You're going to be looking for... Okay, here's a trader. There's a trader, you know, the villagers get jobs and stuff from different blocks. The PC gives them a Poke Trader. So here you can see he buys apricorns. So let me say I got collected a bunch of red apricorns. I can sell him apricorns, red apricorns, and I can get Poke tokens. We don't use relic coins anymore. They're Poke tokens. So awesome. And then I can buy them back with more apricorns, and I can get Pokeballs. Awesome. So that's one way. Now another way is going to be loot crates, loot chests. Now these you can find in different, you can find them in villages, you can find them in, you know, dungeons. They have a bunch of different stuff. It may be food, maybe healing. It can sometimes be Pokeballs. So we'll take a look at a few. Well, of course, it's going to be my luck that none of these are going to have them. And I don't think there's any more up there. But I think it's just because this is a Poke Center, they're more like healing based. But if you go into like a tower or whatever, but that's all right. Now, another one is loot chests. Like there's a different loot chest. Let's go to a village. These can also have loot boxes and stuff like that. So you go around and explore around in structures and stuff like that. Oh, here's one. Oh, it's got some emeralds. Awesome. Now, the other thing in addition, oh, you see that it was gold and then it went gray. That means it's been that you have gone in and looked at the treasure. Now, don't worry about looting and leaving treasure for other people because these boxes are individual. So if I open this, take the treasure, then Andrew can come in, loot it, take treasure, and then Archer can come in, take loot, take treasure. Then Gracie can come in, take loot, take treasure. It's all individual. So loot all of these you see. They will still be there for other people. Awesome. Now, in addition to these, there's something quite just a little bit different. You'll see Pokeballs laying around. Now, these are individual. So once you loot them, they're yours. Nobody else can loot them. That's fine. They're everywhere. You'll see them all over the place. You can get... Oh, whoops. I have to go into survival. So when you open them... Oh, great. I got a Great Ball. Now, these themselves are not Pokeballs. They're just little... It's like a trophy or a plushie like that we used to have. So you can put them back down. You can throw them away. You can put them in your base. You can't store anything in them, I don't think. Yeah, it says it's already been opened. So if Andrew went up to this and tried to loot it, it would say it's already been opened. That's okay. Don't worry about it. They're everywhere. No big deal. You can find more. They're literally everywhere. Open that one. I got a quick ball. Got a quick ball. Awesome. You'll find a lot of these loot chests everywhere, so keep exploring. I'm gonna... Well, I can't fly. Some trainers will show up in gyms, but we'll go over a little bit more. That will get your trainer card. The other thing Now, let me look at one of these that, a dungeon or a Pokemon structure. So let's take a look at one of these. Somewhere is the door. The door is never where I start. Go up. Picture frames are technically also a loot chest type thing. You'll get, these ones are gems. We'll go over that a little bit later. They're not super important. They're just an added mod. Dun, 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 dun. We'll take a couple of these so I can kind of at least talk about them. Go up and up and up. There's more. Now get to the top. This tower is probably going to be the most common you find. And look, there's a loot chest. However, this one, be careful. There is TNT under it, so be careful. There may be some others that are also booby trapped. Just be careful. We'll take a look. Oh, there's gold and enchanting books. Awesome. You can always look on the map. You can see there's like a floating ship up there. I see that every once in a while. Is it over there? Anyways, that's another one. It's part of another battling, whatever. So awesome. That's another place. I do want to show you more about the trader. So we'll do that in a little bit. Another thing, another place you can get Pokeballs is, so let me do this. Okay, yeah, this is another mod. So villagers, you can be picked up. It's gonna, you just shift right click, you pick them up. Keep that in mind. We're gonna go over to the Poke Center. We're gonna take next to the PC. You can do this inside your base, so I'll show you a little bit. You're gonna put him down. He's gonna become a trader. And that's where you can sell the apricorns. Now you can do this little cycle one. These are probably the best. You can cycle through the different quests. Trying to get back to this one. Okay, so you could sell and then buy them back. You get Pokeballs that way. That's a very, very basic way to get them. You can also technically get Pokeballs from your quests. So follow your quests, you'll get a couple. Like if I look at all here, there's some Pokeballs there, there's a Pokeball there. You can get them from quests. Now there is one other that is probably my favorite, is using the pasture block. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Okay, so some Pokemon, my favorite is Zigzagoon, but there are several Pokemon that have it. Oh, well, okay, you just gave it to me. I was going to catch it. Zigzagoon has a chance of having an ability called Pickup. Now, it says that he can pick up an item, or pick up an item that another Pokemon used during battle, and maybe pick up items outside of battle too. So, good way to do it, I'm going to need a chest. We're going to put down a pasture block with a chest next to it. And we are going to, oh. Put my Pokemon in there, and he is out in the world. Now he has the pickup ability. He will automatically start picking up items and put it in the chest next to the PC or the pasture block. He can get all sorts of stuff. If you have a lot of Zigzagoons with this, he'll start picking up a ton. And Pokeballs are one of the things that he picks up, as well as Pokeball parts, candies, experience, evolution stones, held items, food, and berries. It's amazing. So don't sleep on the pickup ability. He'll get you a lot of items. And then, of course, there's different ways of, like, let's take a look at a Pokeball recipe. You have the JEI, everyone knows it. You can look up recipes. The three, you can make like factory stuff. The create mod is great for making it. It's a lot of fun. You have to make different parts. It tells you how to make them out of like apricorns, stuff like that. There's also Oritech. You make this like assembling thing. Me and Andrew will probably have them set up at some point so you can take a look at our setups if you feel like getting into it. There's also Pneumatic Craft,
Huh.
which can make it. Pneumatic Craft is hard. It's very complex. It takes a lot. Um, the Create mod is probably the one that's going to be easier. It's still a little bit more complex, but it's a lot of fun.
Huh.
I can show you probably at some point. Just come by my base. We'll get it set up or show you how to do it. You can take a look at our setup. So that's a good way to start getting Pokeballs. I'm gonna put you in here because you're making. They do make sounds when they're in your inventory, so they get annoying. Okay, so that's a good way to start getting Pokeballs. So when you get out and catch Pokemon stuff, let's go over a few of the basic ways to start your base because there are new stuff to keep in mind. You can do them just how you did before. We're gonna try to have a central like Poke Center area, but maybe you want to have a base that's further away. So we're gonna. Oh yeah, these little things are great as well. They're little like geodes, and they can have like diamonds, gold, redstone. So if you see these out in the world, great place to mine them to start getting diamonds and redstone and gold stuff like that. So let's take a look at my basic little house. Isn't it pretty? It's not ugly at all. I'm gonna get a 10 out of 10. So once you get your basic set house set up, we're gonna use that one command that we had before. Set home. And it says home is set. Now this is an addition to like, you use a bed and your respawn point. So when you die, you're not just gonna go straight back to home. You're gonna go where your spawn set, your bed is. So now, say I'm out somewhere. Let's use that other command, RTP. Go out somewhere crazy. It says we're about 4,000 blocks away. Awesome. We're on the snowy mountain. Okay, so I'll catch my Pokemon, do my exploring, whatever. I want to go back home. So slash home. And I'm back at my base. Super easy. It's just part of the mod. Nothing crazy. Awesome. Now, in addition to that, you can do what's called claiming your chunks. If you played on public server, you're probably familiar with this a little bit. You use a tool and you click a block and then click another block. It's a little easier on this. So you'll open up your inventory. You'll see chunks map, but we're going to go to the FTB chunks claim manager. It's going to open this little thing. Now it'll say how many chunks you can claim. Each little square is a chunk. And then so I want to claim my base. We'll do a square there. Awesome. Now you don't have to claim your chunks, but what claiming chunks does is that it makes it yours. You may not care about on our server because we're all friends and family, but technically it would keep somebody else from coming and, breaking a block or opening your chest or stuff like that. If you don't mind, other people can, we all trust each other, so it's not that important. So no big deal. But it's there if you want. You go back into it. You can see if somebody, maybe I have a base claim somewhere. If me and Andrew are making a big crazy machine and we don't want anybody like messing up the little things, we may claim it just so that you can still look at it, but you may not be able to change anything and mess up the machine. Stuff like that. I may also claim the spawn area so that nobody can break stuff, but we'll figure that out later on. So, claiming chunks, that's great. You're obviously going to want to get like your own PC and healing station. So you can see that the recipes are pretty much the same. The PC is super, super easy, just some smooth stone. So get a furnace, cook up some stone to smooth stone, some iron, some copper, and glass. Super awesome. Yeah, we have copper this time around. Um, so we'll put down our PC. I'm just gonna put it like right there. Now the healing machine is a little bit more. You need a max revive. Max revives are pretty easy. You're just going to need revives and Vivichoke. So honey and stuff like that. If you really need a max revive for a healing machine, just let us know. We can help you out there. So awesome. That's done. You're probably going to want to get one other thing is a TM machine. This will hold all your TMs and stuff because they start to stack up a lot. You get them everywhere in this game. So get yourself your TM machine. We'll put it right there. So then you can have, all your TMs. Let me pull up some TMs so that we can take a look. Well, okay. Oh, is it TM colon? There we go. Now there's also like TRs. Somewhere. We have TRs? Well, yeah, there we go. I don't know why it's coming up. Um, there's something slightly different about them. Of course, you can shift right click, you can see them. Some of them are one-time use, some of them have several uses. But yeah, they'll start stacking up. You can put them in your machine. You can do that. And I don't know why it won't let me put in a second one. Anyways, doesn't matter. That thing will hold all your stuff, your TMs, so it's great. Let's see what else. Um, you're gonna want to get your pickup ability. We did that somewhere over there. Oh yeah, let's take a look how much stuff he's picked up. Ooh, look at that. He's even got some sprouts, some apricorn sprouts, and some meds and some berries. Great. They do stack, so you can have 16 of them. Just keep in mind that chest will fill up really quick. I have 3 on my other world, and I'm constantly trying to empty it out to make room. So get your pickup ability. It'll get you a lot of easy, great stuff. Storage, of course, get your storage set up. There's, of course, chests. There's also the barrels that you're all familiar with. You can also upgrade them. Another thing is drawers are super helpful. I can't remember if we had that on the other server. Basically, what it does is you can hold a lot of a single item. So I put all 5 of mine in there, and I can take out 1, 2, or I can hold right click and it empties all of them out. So I usually make them for like cobblestone and dirt, stuff that's taken up a lot of, a single item that's taken up a lot of room. There's also tanks. Tanks are super easy to make. Dun, dun, dun. It's literally redstone and iron. These are great because you can of course upgrade them to big. They start with 32 buckets. So you can right shift and then scroll your mouse wheel and turn it to bucket mode on off. What that does, turn it day so you can see. So you can come over, we want to fill this with water. We can pick up all the water we want. And then you can, if you want to put it back down, you shift right click. It's great. Or you can not sneak and you can pick it all back up. So regular right click is put it down, or I mean, sneak right click is to put it down, regular click is to pick it up. And then if you want to put down the bucket, you right click, scroll to turn bucket mode off, and you can set it down. Now this works with lava as well. Oh, and speaking of lava, I forgot. So the Pokemon that can pick up and stuff, it's part of a Poke Jobs type thing. There's also other stuff. So let me take a look. Let me get a cauldron. We're gonna get a couple of these. Now, I'm gonna need another Pokemon because okay, so he's a fire Pokemon. He sees an empty cauldron. He's not gonna do it. He may do it. Let me do. How do I spell Magmar? We'll put Magmar in there. See? He filled up the cauldron. Now this also works with, we'll use a Squirtle as an example. So let's take the fire Pokemon out of there. Dun -dun. We'll break these, put down cauldrons again. We'll put out Squirtle. He fills out the cauldron. So if you'll have infinite lava. There's also like fishing Pokemon that do that and stuff like that. Um, let's give it a try real quick. There's all sorts of stuff. There's like archaeology. There's a list somewhere. We'll try and figure them out and post a list. So let's put this. If you break a PC block while they're out, they can get kind of cranky. You really? There we go. Okay. Oh. Oh, see? He's getting fish. Awesome. But yeah, like I said, there's a whole list of Pokemon jobs. Tauros just hanging out there. So super awesome. They're great. We'll put this back down next for a bed or whatever. Let's get that guy out. Okay, so those are some great things to get your base ready. Of course, we still have the waystones like before, so we'll give everybody a couple. You can still find them out in the wild. You may not need them as much anymore because you have the home and stuff like that. So awesome. Let's get your base set up. So now that you have a base set up, let's talk about your Pokemon again. Um, you can see Cynical's level 15. Level caps work just slightly different. So let's go back into our quests. You see this one after we fought one Pokemon in one first time. We get this thing called a trainer card. You can technically craft it, but it's annoying. The quest gives it to you for free. So we'll claim it. Now we have a card. However, it's still pretty normal. So it's not, we got to do some stuff to really get it going. Because there's different leagues. But it's not in the same way as like we used to find Pokemon gyms. So you can see some Pokemon trainers are starting to pop up. But if you click on it, it doesn't tell us what we need to do next. What's our next? Our level cap's 15. So, as you might notice, there's a little arrow on the top and it's glowing. When it starts glowing, it means that the next person you need is within range and you'll see a little arrow. Now, while it's in your hotbar, if you select it, if you're actually holding it, that person or trainer has a lot more higher chance of spawning. So when you're looking for them, follow the arrow, keep it in your hotbar. So we're gonna follow this arrow real quick. Dun, dun, dun. Yep, see, look, there's one of those Pokeballs I was talking about. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, interesting. I didn't know he had that ability. He hides at night like a merchant. Okay, So then we talk to him. He gives you a selection of 3 different leagues or journeys. You can do the Radical Red, which is like Brock and Misty and stuff. It's a little harder. There's also the content creators team. That's different, like YouTubers and stuff. The best one I would start with is the Brilliant Diamond / Shining Pearl. So you trade your card for it. It changes it. Great. That means we're starting that journey. And you guys are super loud. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So now we can click into it. So our level cap's still 15. However, we got a list. Click this. It'll show you your next one. Click on him again. He's leader. Level cap will go from 15 to 16. Awesome. And then we can click on it. We see his signature item. You can see the biomes where they spawn. Not to worry too much. You can go find them. They'll just be in the world. So let's go to the village. Sometimes they spawn there. Now you can see there's no arrow and it's not glowing. That means he's not in range. Let's go to the village, see if he shows up here. Nope, not seeing him. Okay. Like I said, no big deal. So what we're going to do is there's a special item. Hello, Diglett. Do you like my home? I guess not. Okay. You know what? I forgot to put a Oh, I don't have a. Okay. And I'm going to actually craft this block with you to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to show you. So the item we're looking for is called a trainer spawner. Trainer spawner. It is a little bit expensive. I mean, diamonds. The rest of it's pretty easy. That's why I say keep an eye out for those little nodes because they will give you diamonds. You'll also find diamonds in chests, loot chests, so it shouldn't be too hard. Um, you can always go around, where does it say he spawns in? Flashing Forest, Cherry Grove, Dripstone Caves, Frozen Peaks, like Meadows. He pretty much spawns everywhere, so you can find him pretty easy. No worries though. We are going to use the block. What was his item? Was a smooth stone, I think. Wasn't it smooth stone? Smooth rock. That's what it was. Smooth rock. You can find it again in loot. Probably easier to make it. Dripstone blocks, hardstone. You'll need a gem or soft sand. So, yeah, you may have to play with it a little bit. We'll probably, you'll get plenty of gems from the pasture block. The pickup buildings. No big deal. Um, but actually, you know what? The quests. So once you start on that particular brilliant diamond shining pearl, it has its own. This will tell you. So we traded our card for the next journey. We'll claim the experience. This will tell you, okay, his signature item is a smooth rock. It'll raise your level cap to 16. So let's get ourselves a smooth rock, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so we're gonna have our trainer spawner. We're gonna right click with the item. It'll take it a moment. Boom. Our guy is there. Oh no, I got rid of my trainer card. Oh no. All right, well, we're gonna battle. Okay. Oh, he's probably gonna kick my butt because I forgot. He has rock Pokemon. Maybe. Maybe I can actually beat him. I think it's only because I'm higher level. If he uses a rock move on me, yeah, like that. No, gotta take him out before he kills me. I think I actually got him. Cool, good job, Cynical. Oh gosh, I forgot he's got more Pokemon. That's okay. We got a healing station. Actually, no, too late. He killed me. Let me give myself a. Actually, no, we got that Squirtle. Let's use a Squirtle. Alright, level 15. Awesome. Okay. Let's go battle him again so I can show you how the level cap thing works. Now, same way with like over level Pokemon, you could technically catch a Pokemon that's over level 15, but you won't be able to use them in battle. You can't even have them in your party. He'll tell you, hey, that Pokemon's too high. You can't use it. So let's defeat this Geodude. Oh, so close. And then we're gonna have to switch to Squirtle so we can just wipe out the rest of his team. And there's another Zigzagoon, so you'll find a lot of them. Actually, let's go ahead and let you die so that I can do a clean switch. There we go. Okay. And they're both about the same effect. May lower their speed. Okay. Now, using items in battle, you can use up to 2 items in battle, and the opponents can only use 2 items in battle. So I'm gonna use a revive. That's counted as my move. He gets to go again. We'll wipe him out. So since they can only use 2 items, then you're not gonna get locked into where they're constantly healing their Pokemon. Okay, we beat that battle. You can see we got some Pokecoins as well. Now the slightly more valuable is just a compressed version, so they start stacking up a lot. So no worries there. So now I have to get my trainer card back because I accidentally deleted it. Is it still on? Okay, there. So now you can see my level cap is 16. So we can click the check mark again, see our next person. This time this battle will raise it from 16 to 20. Awesome. It's a Commander Mars. And then you can see what their item is, a wide lens. So then you need to get a wide lens and put it in here. Now the items don't, oh yeah, the trainers drop items. I forgot. Don't forget that. Now the trainers, the item, he really wants to battle me again. The item doesn't come out very easily. I don't really know. So I usually just break it and then place it back. And then you can put in the next item in there again and spawn the next guy. But, you can evolve your guys, level them up a little bit. I think this guy had an evolution, so we'll go ahead and evolve him. This Cyndaquil is supposed to be slightly different. I don't know what they look like. Yeah, he looks about the same. Okay, so that's the trainer card, and he also dropped a Terra Shard. Cool. Now that brings on a good point. Where we understand the trainer. Oh yeah, you beat that guy. He tells you what the next item is. You do it, do the next battle, next item, until all the way you get over here. Will raise your level cap up to 55. The last one's like 69. Like you'll get, you just keep going and going. Stuff like that. Now some of them get a little bit harder, like Ego Shard. You'll need to, I think that comes from the Warden or whatever. But you may have a tough time tracking down some of these items. A lot of them you craft. Like this guy needs an Eye of Ender. But ask one of us if we have an item. They don't consume the item, so you get the item back. So we'll probably have the items on hand. Again, you can also find them in the wild without anything. Look, my next one is already over here, so I don't even have to go get a wide lens. See, there's the next guy over there. So again, if you can't find them, then use the item. You don't have to, not required. We may even set up in the spawn area where you know has all the items or whatever. But awesome. Um, get some of these guys out of the way. Terra shards and also berries. Now you're gonna start getting a lot of berries, a lot of terra shards, stuff like that. There are items that you can hold. So we'll take, for example, a terra pouch, a berry pouch. Terra shard pouches will hold all your terra shards. Again, you don't need terra shards to actually terralize them. It just changes. But they're going to start stacking up. So having a terra shard pouch is going to be great. Berry pouch, same. What happened to my... Oh, went to my accessories. Well, how do I... Okay, so that one you have to shift and then right click, and it'll hold a bunch of berries. Awesome. So then when you're in your base, it'll take up a lot less room. Awesome. Let's get rid of a lot of this stuff. We'll keep that out just in case. Gems. These gems are made to be put on items, gear. When you're out looting, you'll find special, like, enchanted versions of things. And sometimes you can put these gems on there. It's more an advanced one. You don't really have to worry about it if you don't want to. Um, we'll go over those in a little bit more later on. Put some of these away. Put that away as well. Okay. That's pretty much it for the basics. Some things like raid dens are a little bit different. They still have like the different stars and stuff. They look different when you go in. Now, keep in mind when you're doing these, if you can't fight the Pokemon, don't just leave. Like either battle them and die, or use the hold Alt and click on the leave. I think you can do, yeah. You have to hold Alt so you can do your mouse, and then click leave the raid. Because it can get kind of glitchy. Like if you start a raid and don't finish it, it may get stuck. So try to leave or just battle it and die, if that makes sense. And that way it'll end it. Yeah. So that's a lot of the basics. Oh, Pokédex. You don't get a Pokédex right off the bat, I don't think. Let me... There may be a quest that gives you a Pokédex. Never mind. Maybe not. Okay, so there's not one that gives you Pokédex. Not a big deal. They're not super hard to make. You can choose what color. We'll say black, and it's like redstone, glowstone, stuff like that. Apricorn, whatever color apricorn you want to make it, and then copper and iron. So Pokédex is easy to make. Again, you can follow some of these quests. Same with like the Pokénav, Pokefinder, the brush for your thing. Backpacks. This one you can craft your own backpack, but honestly, I think it would be way easier to get it from your quest line. So we'll take a look. It's like copper, a stick. Let's go ahead and craft it so we can take a look. Feather, uh, copper ingot, and a stick. Actually, I don't know if that's the right stick. We'll just do this. There's some other wands called sticks. I don't want to use the wrong one. Okay, so we got sticks. Take a stick, a feather, and a copper ingot. You make a brush. Then you can go in. Did I not just make that? Well. Oh, it wants me to find all of those? Really? Okay, well, it wants you to find all these places. Um, this is a good guide on like different archaeological spots. So like there's a certain tree that you can dig under and brush. You can find fossils. There's like a little prehistoric. If you find that out of the ocean, you can probably go under it and find stuff. Let's go over that. That's a good thing that like didn't really get explained in the other one. So this is regular gravel, right? Let's go find an archaeological spot to dig. Um, Actually, let me do this. Let's find a spot. There we go. Yeah, let's just do miscellaneous. Okay. Apparently, it's right here. I don't think that's right. Okay. Okay. Sometimes it spawns you in stuff. Jesus, how far down did it put me? All right, well, let's go down there and check it out. Where is it taking me? All right, well, that didn't work either. All right, let me see. Vent. Trying to find a good one to, There we go. Okay, so trying to find. So does this want me to go down from the vent? Yep, that's one we need. Oops. Okay, so there are some blocks. So that's regular gravel, and that's, see how there's like a dark spot in the middle? You're gonna right click, and it's gonna give you stuff. That one just gave me coal. And, oh, cool. And I got a fossil. Okay, so that's what the brush does. Oh, look, see? Oh, it looks like you just have to find one spot, dig it up, and it'll give you the backpack. Great, we got a backpack. Let's go back to spawn, because that was... So, backpacks are great. You can either put it on your person, you can keep it in your inventory, or you can put it in, like, one of these spots. No big deal. We're just gonna put it on my back. You can either put it in your hotbar and right click, or the B key will open it. You can also upgrade your backpack same way. You can craft it if you want. It's just leather, chest, and some string. As you can see, you can upgrade it to iron, copper. You can I tell you, you can upgrade it to gold, diamond. Can you not do it further? Thought you could do it further. Netherite backpack. Oh yeah, netherite backpack. You have to have diamond and then it's something. Yeah, okay. So awesome. Same thing. There's a bunch of um, uh, augments for it. You know, upgrades and stuff like that. This same system is used on chests a lot. So I'm going to take the time now. That's the basics of it, but we're going to go over like some extra mods that could be helpful to start out. So storage upgrade is probably a good one. These drawers, like we talked about those, you can put in like whole stacks or whatever. Um, in addition to drawers, I would say upgrading your barrels in your chests. So let's look at upgrades. And of course, there's some other mods too if you want. You can use like computers and stuff like that. Okay, here we go. So we'll do iron. So you can take this, you can, oh, we'll take a stack of them. Okay, you upgrade the whole thing. Oops, can't upgrade those. You can upgrade your barrels. Now, what makes that different? So much more room. I can't open that because that's in the way. Okay, way more room. So you can upgrade them through the there's different steps. You have to have, you can do the basic just to do it just to copper, do it just to iron, gold. So use the JAI menu to see the different recipes. You can upgrade them. You have all these different like compacting. You can have void. You can have magnets, stuff like that. Awesome. Um, you may start finding. Let me see if I can. There's loot. I need loot boxes. Do I not have the loot crate opener? What is that? That's not what I wanted. Dun, 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 dun. Where do I do the loot crate? Well, okay, I don't know what that is. But when you open all those chests, you'll start finding some items. So let's take a look if I can find. I don't even know if I can do them in creative. You'll start finding relics like these little things. They're like all sorts of different crazy stuff. You can hold left stick or left shift. Let's do what's an easy one? Roller skates. Hold left shift. It's not going to let me do it from there. So let me do it from here. Okay. Relics and artifacts. You'll see this screen pop up. It kind of gives you some blah, 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 blah. If you want to see what it does, you're going to click on this abilities. And if you haven't discovered it, you need to do a little puzzle. So you'll have this little thing. You have to connect the dots. This one's pretty easy if I remember. Once you get it complete, it'll open up like that. Great. And then you can do, hit escape. Now it'll tell you what the ability, while running continuously, slightly increases the player's movement speed, reaching the maximum bonus of 21% after 5 seconds. There's a lot of different ones. Easiest way to, you can technically put it on your feet, I think. No, you can't. This little menu right here is your relics and stuff. Click them in. You can put them in your, I would say put them on your feet because you have 2 feet slots. Now, this is when I run continuously. It did like a little rolling stop. Interesting. Cool. That's neat. Okay, so relics and stuff like that, you'll see those. You'll find these in loot all the time, so keep an eye on them. There's different stuff like the leaf mantle. You can like sit inside of leaf blocks and recover health. It's awesome. Um, Another one, oh, the gear gems we saw. I wish I had a better way of. Actually, let me see if I can find a. Let's find a dungeon. Let's see, Bandit Village. Let's try that. Nope, none of those. Okay, well then let's do fishing hut. None of those around either. Well, let's do a RTP. Not in the middle of the ocean, please. Let's find a structure. If you want to get rid of all your like waypoints, go into your map, go to waypoints. You can see all. You can hide them. Be careful about deleting them, but you can hide them. And now they're on. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is that regular Poke Center. I don't think I'm going to find any gear in there, but let's do it anyways. I'm going to give myself a stack of Ender Pearls because it would be easier. Okay, can your boxes... Yo, why are you trying to loot stuff? You can find sprouts, experience. Yeah, I think these are like, yeah, that's not going to work. Let's find something that we can loot. There's one. This might work. We're going to come through the window because, can. Remember? TNT. I've blown up lots of towers. Okay, here we go. Unidentified leather tunic. Great. Now you'll see that it says this item has an unknown power. Press Control T and activate your world tier to unlock it. Awesome. Now this mod is like a world adventure mod. So let's do that Control T like it said. Introduction. Welcome to the tutorial for Apothic World Tiers. In this tutorial, you'll learn what... Yeah. So we're going to skip it for now. So basically, it's the difficulty that the world is in. Monsters will get a little bit stronger, but they'll also drop a lot better stuff, and you'll find them in loot chests as well. So right now we're in Haven. You can see the basic drop rates. You're not really going to find rare stuff. The colors are what you're looking at. Typical games, green, red, epic, and the mythic, stuff like that. Purities is for like gems. So you may only find up to flawed for now. Now, it's activated. Now, we're in Haven. It's very, very safe. Now, this is Frontier. You can see it's locked. But it has a list of little, like, quests. Equip a common chest plate. Equip a helmet, weapon, stuff like that. So as you loot, so this is, looks like a green. So let's go ahead and equip that. You can see it has different stats. It has like gravity and stuff like that. You also notice it has an empty socket. So, well, before we do that, now you can see common chestplate is completed. So keep looting, find the different things, weapons, boots, and stuff like that. Now let's get one of these gems. Awesome. Okay, this will work. We also need a smithing table. Let's take our armor. Put our armor. So you see it has the empty socket. We'll put a gem in there. And now the empty socket has the plus 1 2.5 luck. Now, you can't take the gems out right now. I mean, you can later on once you're in like the mods and stuff. So be careful putting them on. Early on, put gems in it. I mean, you're going to find a lot of gems. You can see it's a chipped one it was talking about. So now it's got that. But you can see it also has some other stats like um, less gravity. It has more health. Awesome. So we're going to put it back on. And if I go back into survival, you'll see that I have chat, get out of the way. So I've got the armor, but I've also got a little orange sliver on my heart. That means that that extra health, it basically gives me extra health. Let's get some food so I can heal back up. Oh, right, I'm in. All right, well, I need to go back into creative to give myself some food. So watch when it goes up to, I got extra 3.2. Perfect. Got a 2 extra hearts. So the more of this armor stuff you find, the better. You can find all sorts of stuff. And the gems have different things. So let me show you. So this one shows that I can put it on my core armor, light weapons, and shields. Core armor is this. And then it'll sometimes say lower armor. That means pants. And then other times it'll say boots or helmets. So the gems will tell you what they do on different things. So if I put this on my weapon, it has life steal. If I put it on my armor, it just gives me +1 armor. If I put it on shield, it gives me 10% armor. So keep a lookout for the gems. Some are awesome. See, this one on tools is ignores durability damage. Awesome. Now, keep in mind that in tools, it doesn't mean axes, which is kind of sad. So I think it's just pickaxes and hoes. The hatchets are not considered tools in this one, so it would be considered a weapon. So let's take a look at this one. See, boots, core item, armor, shields. Now you also loot lifesteal. So sometimes if they're combined with other stuff, so say I had 10% lifesteal on my weapon, but then I put this on my boots, it would take that 10% lifesteal down to 5% lifesteal. So sometimes they interact, no big deal. So yeah, go around, play with it, check it out. You'll find all sorts of stuff. It'll gear you up and have a lot of fun. Um, on that note as well, there's where was I gonna go with it next? I was gonna go with somewhere else on that, but now I don't remember. Um, I don't remember. I was gonna go on to something else from there. But yeah, once you find you'll advance, then your drop rates will start going up. Once you complete this one, you start finding iron. This one, you start finding like copper and gold. No, this one you start finding diamond, which is pretty cool. And then this one, yeah, he gets one. But you notice this one, you also have to slay an apothec invader. A random thing, guy, mob thing will show up, and you have to beat him. It'll tell you in chat, stuff like that. So awesome. Um, there was another thing, and I forgot what it was. The same like uh Mega Evolution and Z crystals, all that stuff still exists, so that's pretty the same. Um, relics. Went over storage. Oh man, what else was there? There was something else I was gonna go with it. These are some of the different mods you can get into. Create is an awesome one. You can do like water wheels and gears and stuff. I'll show you that one of those here in a little bit on my other world. There's also Draconic Evolution, which is crazy. You can make these big like reactor things. They're awesome. Um, Pretty hard to get into a little bit because you have to like get to the end. There's also the Chaos Guardian. Immersive engineering is also another cool one. It deals with like steampunky vibes, big machines. One of my favorite mods. I love doing it a lot. I'll get a lot of machines set up with that, and you guys can take a look. Um, it's very similar to Create. Create has like gears and conveyor belts and stuff like that. Industrial foregoing is a basic machine one or whatever. It's a great one to start. Remember, start at the little cog one. It'll usually tell you how to like make if you want to get into these mods, start on this quest thing, and it'll really show you what's going on. Just dire things, you can make these cool little weapons. Although the weapons are not as good as the like if you're doing the world tier ones, the ones that you find that as you level up the world, those ones are really good. But these are great to start out. You gotta make these little primordial goos. It'll tell you, you can follow along with them. They're great. It'll tell you what to do. Mechanism is also very techy. Make windmills, solar panels, all that kind of stuff. Electricity. You can make like nuclear reactors. Oritech is really good for like assembly and things like that. I haven't played with it a lot before. Pneumatic craft is the one with like air pressure. It's pretty cool. You can also do trains and stuff like that if you want to do that. It goes over the different power, like how to make electricity. Start out with like redstone. You get into like solar panels. I mean, it'll show you. Um, these are the different magic ones. I'm not huge on magic ones, but you may find it pretty cool. Ars Novea is pretty cool. It's really popular. Now, there's also different dimensions. There's a lot of different dimensions. There's of course, the Nether in the end. There's also the Aether. There's the Bumble Zone. There's Cataclysm. There's like the Underdark, the Other, stuff like that. Eternal Starlight. There's the Undergarden. There's a lot of different places to go in it. So, you know, explore these things. If you want to just get into one of these, hop into one of them. Awesome. Follow the things. It's great. There's a lot of different stuff you can do in it. Um, I feel like I was going to. There was one particular one I was going to go into, and I can't remember. But that is fine. So, yeah, that is it in a nutshell. A lot of information. So, if you need to go back and pause and go through, also remember ask me and Andrew questions will help you along the way. But my hopes is that this video would give you a visual guide on how to get started and stuff. So, uh, quick breakdown. You know, we went over the big changes, how to get started. The big things that you really, really need to look at are these commands plus the slash back. So, bookmark this page. I think you can pin it. I don't know how to get to the. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how you get to the pen ones, but anyways, keep these ones. Those are the good commands that you'll be using a lot of. Remember to remap your keys so that you can do open your quest thing a lot easier. Um, Cobblemon stuff is the same, except for we went over the trainer card, so keep your trainer card on you if you want to battle. It's already telling me the next person's over here. Awesome. Pasture block breeding is a little bit different. They don't just drop their items anymore. They have to have the pickup ability. If you want to farm Pokemon drops, you would need to breed the Pokemon and then literally kill them with your hands. You have to just kill them with your hands. This one you can kill Pokemon. So that's how you're getting the Pokemon drops. Defeat them in battle or literally kill them with a sword. Um, breeding, you'll notice it doesn't have the egg button anymore. So if you really want to keep them and don't want them to breed, you need to put a redstone signal under it. And then they'll stop breeding. But yeah, let me take you, before I end it, just as a bonus, I'm going to go into my other world real quick and show you um, how to what the create mod looks like. And I'll show you I've got a Pokeball setup going to make Pokeballs, and I'll show you, kind of give you a look at just what it looks like. And a couple of the other advanced stuff. If it'll take it, it'll come out. But it's taking forever. Okay. Um, Apparently I was in some other place. Let's go home. Don't worry about that menu. That's just part of the server. Just ignore that. Okay. So this is my basic house. Oh, yes, I forgot to go over botany pots. Botany pots are a great way if you're doing farming. They're super easy. They take terracotta, a funnel or hopper, flower pot, um, and you literally just put in whatever you want to grow, connect a pipe. So like these apricorns are growing. They're piping in the apricorns into these drawers, and then the sprouts come over here. And it also gives logs, and I've got a lot of logs. And then I have them piped into a furnace to make charcoal, and my thing is full of charcoal. So these drawers, don't sleep on them. They are great. My boxes are constantly being filled up and stuff. Yeah, they're just insane. Um, these are a bunch of healing items. A lot of these stuff I get from the pickup mod, which I will show you in just a minute. I have another basic little farm out there I'm not really worried about. Waystones and stuff I built near a village. There's also different lava. There's a soul lava. Those are the different dimensions. We got my fossil machine. Trophies. This little guy is a market. They're pretty easy to make. Literally just logs, planks, and a red wool. Now, passive mobs are turned off by default, right? There's no chickens or cows. They're replaced by Pidgeys and Miltanks, stuff like that. But sometimes a recipe may require, you know, you have bees, chickens, cows, dolphins, cats, foxes, llamas, horses, stuff like that. If you have a recipe that needs one of these, just come over here, pay them a diamond. Same for different saplings, different, seeds if you want. So this item's pretty good. Your guy item. Um, you may notice this guy right here. The Easy Villagers mod allows you to take villagers and put them in blocks. So this is that trader guy. I just have him in this block. He won't go anywhere. He will stay there forever, and I can do the trades all the time. Now they can also do other things. Oh my god, elevator. I have villager iron golem farms in a box. And I have them set to a pipe, and they just give me tons of iron. Those again are not very hard to make. You can use JEI. You're gonna look for this one says iron farm. Just like some lava, they do get noisy, so be careful. You can see there's all sorts of different. These trader ones are basically just this. It comes in a blank box. You'll pick up a villager. You'll pick up whatever trade job block you want. Put them, right click both of them on there. So if I want like one of the blacksmith traders, I'd pick up the blacksmith or anvil, put them in there, pick up the villager. Um, Again, remember it's the villager, you know, regular villager. You crouch, right click, and you can pick them up as an item. And he just looks at you like a weirdo. Awesome. Super cool. You may notice this pipe to a thing. We'll go over that. That is the pasture block. So I've got it connected to a cauldron. I would have it then connected to my Magmar. He loves the cauldron. He will go over there and fill it with lava here in a second. I don't know if he gets on top of it and like poops out the lava. Sir, I need you to fill it up. I'm trying to show people stuff. Can you do it? Do the thing. Do the roar. Anyways, he'll fill it up. It'll pipe it down into my thing. Now, these are my Teddy Ursas. They also have those pickup ability. So you can see I hover over them. They have the pickup ability. So I only have 3 of them, right? Zigzagoon also has them. I think also Munchlax, Fanfy, and a couple others. So there's a list online. You can look up certain Pokemon. If they don't have the ability, you can always release them and find more. I have this chest. It gives me all sorts of stuff. Pokeballs, gems, um, potions, and revives, and all that kind of, it has like whole stacks of experience. It's great. Vivichoke seeds, which would be, you need the cobble pots and stuff like that. Pokeball parts, Pokeball lids of all different colors, apricorn sprouts, held items. You have these gems. You have like water stones, thunderstones, more Pokeballs here, different medicines. It's great. This chest will fill up faster than you can empty it out, probably. Okay, so that was the pickup ability. There was something over here I was gonna show you. Oh, different cobble pot. Of course, it's always in here. You can upgrade your furnaces to iron furnaces and then like gold furnaces and you know all that good stuff. I'm gonna put my copper in there. Okay. Different trophies. I found an Ender Dragon trophy. Um, Somebody gave me a Groudon trophy. This is my trainer room. I'll do the trainer battles in here. Let me show you that create farm. You probably noticed all this over here. So this is where we were making Pokeballs. So let me, do I have some extra? Okay, let me grab a few items and we will make a Pokeball. I think I can get away with just a copper. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Oh, you know what? I forgot. We need apricorns. So, let's take that. Okay. All right. So first we got to start with the apricorn. We then have to split it in half. Just put it in there. The saw cuts it. And then we have this thing. We got to take that. It's still an apricorn. It's not a Pokeball part, so we're going to put it here. This is going to wash the apricorn off, I guess, if you could say it. Cool. So we got the parts. All right. Now, to make the rest of the Pokeball, oh my gosh, that's not what we want. All right, well then I know what the rest of it is. So we're gonna do, we need a couple more parts. Blink Pokeball lid. Okay, so it needs a blank. We also need copper. Okay, I have 2. It's going to go and stamp it. It's going to stamp it. It's going to stamp it. And stamp it. Awesome. We got these two parts. We also need... Dun, dun, I need a shaft. Okay, up. I need to change one of my machine real quick. Okay. So the first one I'm going to put this. Next one I'm going to put this. This one I'm going to put one of these. Then I put the other one in here. It comes out. Stamp, 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 bang. Now we have a copper ball mechanism. Awesome. Almost done. So now, in here, actually we need to change this one because we don't need the third one. So the first one, we're going to put that red. Next one, we're going to put the blank. And then this, we're going to put the mechanism. Stamp, stamp, and boom. We have a working Pokeball. Awesome. So this is one of the mods you can use, and you can do all sorts of, like I was making quick balls. I was making ultra balls. This one's made out of brass. It takes almost the same, but you have to use brass instead of copper. But also you'll have to make like ultra ball lid, which takes apricorn pieces and stuff like that. It's a little different. So that's a good introduction. Now this mod doesn't work just electricity. It uses like gears and stuff. So I have this water wheel turning a crank, turning some gears. It turns these shafts, which power the conveyor belt, powers the saw, and then it comes over underneath. There's like a shaft underneath. I don't know if you can see it. Well, a belt. And then it comes over here, powers this, which then power these other machines. Awesome. So, yeah. Super, super cool. Don't worry about that. We were doing some stuff. Me and Green were playing. So that's a good way to, use the apricorns. To create is not too hard. It's daunting, but once you get started, it's pretty easy. The core thing that you'll need is andesite. So that block that we all hate and it's just everywhere, this is your main thing. So you take like two. Oh no, I'm sorry. It takes two and there we go. Iron ingot or iron nuggets. So you do two and two, and you get this andesite alloy. Super awesome. And you use that to make like the shafts and the windmill, all sorts of stuff. So yeah. Let me look at gear so you can see all the gear that I have is like the different colors and stuff. Green is common, red is or blue is rare. My world tier is a little bit different. I completed the frontier. I've completed Descent. Now I'm on here. I need to find rare leggings, and then I also need to slay the Wither, which I am not super looking forward to. But I do have stronger weapons because of the Haven stuff. Like this diamond sword does 11 damage, and it also does weakness. Mob drops teleport to you, and all that kind of stuff. And it has different gems. It's awesome. Let me show you some of my relics. I found all these relics. This leafy mantle, also the bunny hoppers. That's what was making me hop. If it'll do it. Oh, bunny hop. But the leaf mantle is also cool. I can hide in leaves. You can also see that I have a lot of hearts because of the stronger iron armor. This is one of those really, really crazy, scary monsters. What else? I've gotten about this far in my battle. That's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. Um, if you have, like I said, if you have questions, find me or Andrew or Green. Ask us a lot. Green knows a lot about the technical stuff, the techie mods. There's uh armor and stuff past Diamond. So like it's called like all the modium. If I can find it. Where are the weapons? Yeah, see, all the modium sword, vibranium sword, unobtainium sword, all that kind of stuff, as well as armor. That stuff is super strong. You do have to go into the different dimensions, like the underside or underdark, um, the aether, stuff like that, to find them. Um, but you can't mine them. Like you can only mine. See, there was I think it was this. Okay, so like you can't mine this. You need an all the mod, so you need to get like one of these. And it tells you, it's great to start. It's after netherrack. Oh, you can't mine this unless you have netherite. You can't mine this unless you have this one. You can't mine this one unless you have this one. And you can even alloy them together and stuff. Make some really strong ones. Because there are some monsters in this game that have, actually, let me go to one that I can show you. This guy has a base with some really strong captured stuff, and I can show you how strong these things are. So if you want to get super strong and fight some of these monsters, so like, okay, basic breeze, it has like 15 hearts. Some of these, this one has 2,700 hearts. The Leviathan, if I can stop falling through the blocks. What is going on here? There we go. That one has 1,200. This guy has 40,000. This dude is even bigger. 9,600 hearts. He has a lot of health. He's like one of the strongest in the game. So super, super crazy. Lots of, I mean, the Wither that we always know and love, he only has 300. He is weak compared to this mob. You have Leviathan, two Leviathans. You have this Chimera thing. All sorts of different mobs you can fight. You know, Deepling Brute. What is this? Ender Guardian. He's cool looking. The Warden only has 500 hearts. Like these guys are, the vanilla guys are weak compared to like these crazy big guys. So yeah, we'll take a look at this guy's base to kind of just look at all the different mob stuff. This guy has a bunch of villagers, different traders, all that type of stuff. This guy has machines and pipes and furnaces, and it's crazy cool. Like you can do a lot in this stuff. And again, you don't have to do all this stuff. You can do, pick and choose what you want. This stuff is pretty daunting. It's very, very overwhelming. There's also bees. You could keep bees. It's pretty cool. But also there's I mean, making master balls is a lot of work. It's not like we had before where you could just put in, another star and some netherite. You have to do a lot of stuff. But yeah, so that's about it in the mod. Again, if you've got more questions, let us know. But that should help you get started. Um, that guy's really funny. Let me show you. He pops out of the ground. He's super funny. There's the TM machine, like I was saying, the PC and drawers. So yeah, that should help you get started. There's a lot of different stuff. Me and Andrew are still discovering stuff ourselves. So, we may find something really cool. We'll put it in spawn for you guys or tell you about how to get it. You know, it's great. Lots of stuff to do, lots of stuff in this mod pack. Again, don't get overwhelmed. We're here to help you guys. So that's about it. Um, I hope y'all have fun. We should be starting here pretty soon. I'm not gonna post this until the server starts, and so that you guys can give this a watch. But I think this video has been long enough, and we'll see you again later.